All right, use the unit rate to answer this question. By the way, I don't care if you use the unit rate. I just need to see that you have some work on the test. But since it asked, that's what we're going to do. Lisa can read 48 pages in 8 minutes. Answer the following question. So write the unit rate in pages per minute. So it wants the unit rate anyways. So let's set up a proportion, which once again just indicates that we have two fractions that are equal. All right, now notice this one is reading pages in a certain amount of time. So we could just say that the pages depend on the minutes. This means that the pages should be in the numerator. So I have my numerators labeled now. Now I will label my denominators with the other quantity, which is minutes. All right, now that we have these, we're all ready to go. In this problem it said that Lisa can read 48 pages in 8 minutes, which seems pretty quick. But we want to know how many pages she can read in 1 minute, which is the question right here. So how would we get this to 1 minute? You guys could use the fishy method, or you can use cross multiplications, or you can use the scale factors, which is what we did on the previous problem. So the question I have for you is, which method do you want to use? We will use cross multiplication on this one, and then on the part B, we will use fishy method. All right. So to use cross multiplication, we'll say that we don't know how many pages, so we'll just say x pages. And then we will multiply this cross part, so that's 48 times a 1, which would then equal 8 times an x, right here. So I'll write it over here. 48 equals 8x. So I multiplied the 48 and the 1. From right here, we will divide both sides by 8, which would give us a coefficient of 1 for the x. You guys did this in one of the previous units. 48 divided by 8, 6. Now we need a label for this because, well, it's a word problem. So it's 6 pages, and the unit rate then, let me go back up and account, and I would indicate that it is 6 pages for every 1 minute. Notice in the answer you have to include the 1 minute, because if you just write 6 pages on the test, -1. All right, on this part B, we can use the unit rate, or we cannot. It really doesn't matter which way you use it, or which one you use, which rate, which ratio, whatever. All right, but I do need to set up a proportion, which again, I just need 2 fraction lines and an equal sign. Bam, there we go. Then I need labels. Because we're comparing pages and minutes again, I will put them in the same positions in the fractions. Now I am going to use the unit rate because, well, it's going to make it really easy, I think. So 6 pages in 1 minute, and what we need to know is how many pages for 10 minutes. And we don't know the number of pages like these. So what I will do is I will go in right here. And since I said I would use fishy method, that is what I will do. So to set up fishy method, we have four parts or values, whatever you want to call them. And we have multiplication and then division, and it will give us the x, which is the number of pages. So yes, if you use the 48 pages for 8 minutes, you should still get the same answer because the fractions are all equals. So, hopefully you guys remember for fishy method, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the x, because that's where we will end as well. Then we go up or down, and this first number that we connect with is the value that goes in the first space, right here. Then we cross it up in here to the 6. That is the next one. And then we'll bring it down like these to the 1. And then we end with the x. And you can see very clearly that we would have a nice fish.
Why does it look like a shark? Why does it look like that? What's wrong with it? It's freaking ugly.
There we go. Alright, the last thing we must do is solve this. So 10 times 6 is 60. Then we have 60 divided by 1 is now the x. 60 divided by 1, this is something I would do in my calculator. 60 divided by 1 I would have 60 equals my x.
Really?
But once again, this was a unit rate, or a rate rather. So on at these, we have 60, which was the x right here. 60 pages for 10 minutes. Bam.